Hey guys, welcome back. I was able to grab a ton of stuff to help us get our seeds started from Dollar Tree. So I wanted to share with you some of the things I found to help us save a buck on our journey to homesteading. I started shopping at Dollar Tree for spring and growing type stuff in early January. So that is one of the things you want to get ahead of the curve when it comes to stocking up and getting stuff on a good deal. By the time this goes up, most of this will be sold out at any Dollar Tree around you. I've even checked their website. A lot of the stuff you can't get there anymore. So I do apologize in that aspect. But this will help you next year. Make sure that you get there on time, go in early, and start shopping right after Christmas for your garden. So these are the things that I got. I wanted to just go ahead and share with you guys. So I did get a bunch of these tomato trellises. I got 5, and they do have slightly varying rings, so you can grow it up. Super, super excited. They have these little twist ties holding them together, and I'm going to be sure that I hang on to those so that I can tether the plants to the trellis as well. Make sure that you're always looking out for stuff like that to help save a little bit of money and also help save the planet. So less stuff going to waste, better for you. I grabbed some of these guys, and I've never tried anything like this. I did make sure that they were made in the US because who knows where stuff is coming from these days. But they are herb rockets, and then this one is a tomato rocket. And you just plant the whole thing, and supposedly all these herbs are going to come up. So I'm super excited to try it. I figured for a buck, I can definitely try this out, right? So there's thyme, parsley, dill, and then tomatoes. One thing I got that I wish I had grabbed more of was the little cell trays for starting seeds. And these came with a full greenhouse setup. So they have like a drip tray, the cells, and the greenhouse top. Now these aren't fancy, so they don't snap on, but it'll still get the job done. I only grabbed 2 of these because I wasn't sure what our plan was yet. I didn't know what all we were doing. I wish I had grabbed more. So definitely, if you see stuff like that, grab it. By the time I realized I wanted more of those, I went back and they just had these, it's basically the drip tray and the lid without the cell insert. So you can still use these for a lot of stuff. These are open because I've tried them for microgreens. They work very well for that. And then there was these fun little guys, little grow kits. This one's for strawberry, which I have not started yet. And then I got one for basil, which I did start. I'll go ahead, I will link that video down below because I went through step by step my process of creating the greenhouse lid, this little drip tray that I reutilized, some of these Tupperware containers I got at Dollar Tree for. So make sure you check out that below if you're interested in just doing a couple small little things. I also got these, which I'm so excited about. I have seen these stacking towers all over online for the past couple years, and I really, really wanted them, especially at the house where we lived before. We were renting there as well, and we couldn't do the stuff that we're allowed to do here. Gardening was not an option, so I really wanted something like this where we could build up on our deck and patio and stuff like that and utilize that space. I just could not find them in our budget. So $1 per level, insanely cheap. So I'm hoping that number 1, this was a good deal, and number 2, that they really, really hold up. Now the stickers on here do say to just go 3 high, but I have seen a lot of people on Instagram who were able to snag some as well, drilling holes down the middle and putting like a stabilizing pole through them. I'm excited to see how theirs work out. For this year, my plan is just to leave them 3 high and then put the trellis on top. So I can do herbs, strawberries, fun little stuff on the sides, and then grow tomatoes up out of the top on all of mine. And I did get enough to make 4 of those, so then I'll still have an extra trellis for another spot. But I'm super excited to see how that goes. If it works out really, really well for everybody else, and their little pots stay together very well, then next year I might consider putting them on a pole and doing it that way. We'll see how this goes. I'm really excited. to test out the versatility of all of these things, our gardening, what works best for us. So I'm just excited for the journey at this point. I did get one self-watering pot. This is actually for my aloe plant. I didn't think this was a great size for starting much. Maybe you could do garlic in there. I probably wouldn't, but it's still a great size for houseplants. It's only $1. And then I got cinnamon. I don't remember who I was watching. I'm so sorry. But somebody said if you sprinkle cinnamon over the top of your seedlings, it helps cut down on fungus gnats. And I have had some fungus gnats, which is the craziest thing because I greenhoused my pots in the kitchen and they're like airtight and I still somehow got them. So I don't understand that. I'm going to have to research the life cycle there. But somebody said cinnamon will help ward them off. So this one I actually didn't get at Dollar Tree, but I know this same one you can get at Dollar Tree. So super cheap way to pick that up as well. And then I got 60 packets of seeds. The Dollar Tree closest to my house has been sold out of seeds for a couple weeks, but I just went crazy. Every time that I saw seeds for a couple weeks, I would get like 10 packets here, 10 packets there, and it added up. So I have them currently, they're divided by sowing time, when to sow them and where to sow them. So direct sow versus indoor, different timelines, stuff like that. And I actually just have them tied right now with an asparagus band. And then I do have containers I'm putting them into, but just to help me sort them out, that was free. So definitely, if you see the seeds at your Dollar Tree, grab them. I understand using much more high quality seeds. And I also got some of those as well. They'll be in a different video, but this is our first year. I know gardening looks easy. It looks exciting. I really want to get into it. I know we're going to have hardships with it this year. I don't want to waste a ton of money while I'm in the figuring it out stage, if that makes sense. So I felt like these were perfect and we're going to still get food out of it. So I also grabbed these microgreen kits. So I will link below a video I did on these as well. They had two varieties. There was a hot mix and a mild mix. They're both delicious, super easy to grow in a mason jar. So I think that covers it. A couple other things that you could maybe grab while you're there. I've seen thermometers to like hang outside. They have cute little stuff. I've also seen like gardening gloves, shovels, little, just little garden tools. I have tons of that stuff because we've always done flower gardens. So I did not feel the need to pick that up. But if you are just starting out and you're not sure that you're going to garden in the long run, make a little investment now just to see how it goes. It's not the best stuff. It's only $1. But there you have it. All right. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm really excited to see the yield I can get out of this. So I will see you guys next time. And if you feel so inclined, make sure that you like and subscribe. All right. So after filming the video for what I already had from Dollar Tree, I went back to Dollar Tree yesterday just to see what they still had. It is the first week of March. So it's been a couple months since I started shopping for these types of things, and it was real slim pickings. So I did get 2 more of these pots just because I love the rosemary in it. So I want to go ahead and get my other things transferred to it. They've got such a bigger space for root growth and stuff like that than the little white pots that I was using. So I want to transfer my herbs to these in my kitchen. So I grabbed 2 more of those. This is like all they had for seeds. This was the only winter squash, the only radish, and the only eggplant pack they had. Carrots they had a ton of. They probably had like a whole shelf of just carrot seeds. And they still have a ton of flower seeds. So if you're going for flower seeds, that might be the way to go. They did have the grow kits though. They had, so this is a tomato one. I hadn't had one of these yet. They also had the basil, strawberry, they have coneflower, sunflower, and a couple other flowers. But as far as veggies, they did have the tomato, basil, and strawberries still in stock. So it might be worth checking out. And then I saw some of these little starter pots, and I thought I'd go ahead and use some of these too. I also have a couple of pots in my kitchen that don't have drainage holes, so I could use these inside so that the pot's actually kind of acting as like the drainage catcher. But it's a pack of 6 for $1. I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to start some squash in these today because they are a bit bigger, so I can let it go in here a little bit longer before I transplant it outdoors. So I was able to find a couple more things like that. Also a spray bottle. You can super pick those up there all the time. Love that. But yeah, so good luck with it, and I hope that you're able to find some stuff that you can use. Last interruption, I promise. They did have baker pans, cake pans, roast pans, whatever you want to call them, with the plastic lids. I had only seen them with the foil lids previously. This is probably loud. But they're also really deep ones. So I'm really, really excited for this because I feel like most standard ones are this height or similar. This is a Reynolds one. This is the Dollar Tree one. Look at that difference. So I was thinking I might even be able to do some of these just to get them going, just to keep the humidity higher and stuff like that. And then once they sprout, go ahead and just pull the top off. But you guys, $1 for a greenhouse. Yes, go try. I stopped by my Dollar Tree yesterday to buy batteries, and they had some seeds. So you guys, don't give up just yet. It was March 12th yesterday, and they had just restocked. So this is $4 worth of seeds. $4. A lot of places right now, that's one pack. And again, as I've said before, I understand these are Dollar Tree seeds. These are not up to snuff for everybody. But for somebody like me who is just doing this seriously for the first time, to help me understand not only what I enjoy growing, but what I can grow well, what my soil handles well, and stuff like that, these are perfect. So I've got some spinach here, which we hadn't gotten yet. So I'm actually going to get some of these started today. I'm planting spinach now, and then I'll plant it again and again and again. I've already started with lettuce. I've got some started a week apart. So I'm doing a couple little plants every week so that all through the summer we have fresh lettuce instead of just doing it all at once and then having an abundance that there's not really any great way to preserve. Spinach, you can. You can freeze it. You can put it into all kinds of dishes. You could dehydrate it. Like, there's tons of options for spinach. Lettuce, not quite so much. So if you guys have some really good tips on preserving lettuce, let me know. But for now, I'm just going to be planting it weekly. So then I've got a couple different varieties of beans. We hadn't gotten any beans yet somehow. And then peas. So I got a couple different kinds of peas. This kind of tomato, which I hadn't seen yet. And then I was able to snag 2 more of these, which if you've seen our first setback video, we lost all these pepper seeds previously. So I'm excited to have these in our repertoire for our garden again. And then 1 little corn, which we bought some other corn, but I figured, what the heck, right? Why not? So that is what we got. And you guys, $4. Always make sure you're checking if you're, I went in, like I said, for batteries because it was right next to the grocery store. We just needed some batteries for a remote. I didn't want to go spend a ton of money on batteries. And I was like, I'm going to check seeds while I'm here. And look at the payoff, you guys.